guys, this is Orsi, and this is going to be an update on my deck collection, I guess, the part that I'm using that is out of the box, because I went through the box, which was also as fun as I expected it, to be honest. There were some decks that I was like, oh, yeah, I have those. So it's a good experience, and it's a good thing to know that, keeping the larger size or parts of my collection in a box actually is a good idea. Even though I kind of ran out of space in the box and I need a second one because I have more decks. Yeah, so that happened. But not by a lot, but yeah, I need an extra box for it. But I picked a few that I will be working for at least a few months. Even though what I want to do is gonna be, a separate video as well where I pick decks to study for next year. But I won't have time to do that until pretty much the last week of this year. So that's a separate thing. But now I just want to show you guys what's on my reading space table and in the not closet. What's the word? In the cupboard, wardrobe. What now? What's the word? Oh god, I never know what it's called. Cabinet. That's the word that I was looking for. Where I keep my decks that I choose from for reading. I know, surprising. There are decks that were picked out before because Halloween season is kind of bleeding into, the winter months. So I have a few that stayed out, but I also have a few that I want to give a chance to actually use and decide what I'm gonna do with them, because ever since I had them, I haven't had a chance to use them, so I don't even know if I want to have them anymore or not. But let's just start with... Should I start with Oracle? Yeah, I will start with Oracle decks. The one that I have pretty much all the time out in my reading space or reading table is the Sacred Destiny Oracle, which I trimmed. I didn't remove the white border, but I made it smaller, and it's much easier size now to handle. And because it still has that tiny white border, I kind of like that. It adds to the images, I think. Borderless, it wouldn't look as good as it does with borders, which is I know it's a new thing for me. But I use it to pretty much get messages from my higher-ups, usually in epic card readings as well. It's a very trusted and their reading deck for me. Look at that voyage with the two whales. I love that. There's so many things in this, just one tiny image, and it just reads wonderfully. So I pretty much keep it out all the time. This is not something that will ever leave my collection. I don't think so. Plus, it stays in there all the time. Another one which I'm getting brave using it, because this is the Reclaim Oracle, which is very good for you if you want to kick yourself in the butt emotionally. And I need to do some emotional work or figuring things out, and this is going to be the deck that I'm gonna be using for it. And it seems like a simple deck, but it's a heavy hitter for sure. So I wasn't ready for any type of reading that this deck gives you in the previous few months, but now I think I'm ready to pick up that shadow work again, dealing with emotions and whatnot, figuring things out, why I feel a certain way about certain things, because I do think that I've made progress, but some things are still not clear, and I'm hoping that this deck is going to be the one that's gonna show me some answers about certain things that I experience and why I'm still experiencing and dealing with those things. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be using it often, but I'm definitely gonna be using it for personal development, for personal work. I'm not sure I'm gonna use them in pick a card readings because it just kind of feels heavy, but we'll see. We'll see, because darker months are good for these things. A new one that I recently got because it was delayed, so I just recently got it. But I haven't used it. I don't think I ever used it. Is the Magic of Marvel, which has like a problem with one of the cards, because or two cards has the same text on it, even though the guidebook has the correct one. So I still need to figure out how to fix that one without ruining the deck too much. But it I kind of feel like this is a good reader, but I haven't had a chance to try it out. So this is definitely gonna be involved in pick a card readings, because those are the ones where I can test a lot of decks, more so than in personal ones. Because when I do personal readings, I want something that I know that I will understand the message clearly. With a pick a card reading, when I do general readings, I can just be like, this is what's coming through. Is it coming from a deck or is it coming from someone else? Doesn't matter. The message is what's important. I can be more loose, so to speak, with that. So yeah, I wanna give a chance to that one. The Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck is another one. I also trimmed and edged this one. I think I edged it. Did I edge it? No, I didn't edge it. Whoa, okay. Why? I meant to. Why did I forget? Interesting. I was planning on doing it, like a blue blau. That's German, I think. Blau, yeah. Blue, like this one. So it's interesting that I forgot to do that. It's a very muted color tone deck, but I really like the keywords. It's such a usable deck, even if you like me don't know a lot about planets or like astrology. I think the keywords can give you clear messages in a reading. Plus, I'm hoping that by using the deck I will pick up some knowledge about like planets, because I don't really know, and I'm familiar with like the signs that I have in my chart, at least the first 3, but I don't really know most of the houses what are for. I mean, obviously I know house 7, because I think when you start astrology you check your relationship things in a chart, and mine is so empty it's not even funny. Which it doesn't mean that I don't have relationship, it just means, I think that's how I interpreted this, that my big lessons are not coming from relationships this life. I have other things to have fun with, but fixed signs, what that means, and for example the 5th house I don't really know about a lot, because I don't think I have anything in there either. So yeah, I'm hoping that by using it I will pick up some knowledge, like slowly, which would be cool. So that's something I should take out the book at some point as well. So but this is gonna be one that I'm using. Another one that I really like, and this made me realize that I forgot to include the Deviant Moon Tarot in the video, because I forgot to bring it here, but those are my that's the one that I'm pairing it with this deck. So just imagine that I showed you the Deviant Moon as well, because it's one of my winter decks. But it's too far away, so I'm not getting up. But this one is the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and it's also a very usable deck. For me, it feels more of a winter deck, even though there are plenty of bright colors, but the overall tone of the deck is cool. So even if this is a very bright card, it's cool toned yellows, cool toned greens, cool toned blues. So it's one of my winter deck oracles, and it works really well. So this is definitely going to be using it with a lot of readings, because I already know that this works well, and that's that's good to have something that you can rely on when you do these things. Okay, and then tarot. Oh no, sorry. The other two that stays on my table because they are not specifically winter related, but the theme of them is the relationship oracle, because every time I do relationship themed reading, and this is the pocket edition because it's so much easier to handle than the big one. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with the big size because I just don't use it. I'm probably gonna put it away in a box because it just takes space in the cabinet. But it's a very it's a very easy keyword based deck. No people, so it can be used for anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter how you identify. Freedom is freedom. New beginning with the stairs is a new beginning. A promise with lockets is a promise. There's no, gender or humans to mess with. A honeymoon or even friendships. You don't have to involve people in a relationship reading if you don't want to, which I know it sounds weird, but I stand by this deck because I think it's a very easily used deck for anybody without, being worried how they identify what's their relationship with their own gender or sexual orientation. You don't have to worry about that, and that can be, I think, very, very useful. And another one is the questions oracle, which the top box is falling apart, so I will have to figure something out, but it's a round deck, so it's not that easy to put it away. These are big questions that you can work with, and I like using these as a center point of readings. Like, for example, let's see, what am I supposed, what is the theme that I need to work with, for example, this month? Technology, okay. I love this card. The colors and everything is just how technology is maybe influencing my life. Am I relying on too much on my phone or on electricity to work, or light, or am I able to connect to the seasonal changes of nature, or am I living in too much inside of my modern like home? So stuff like that, which is a very good question. Maybe I should think about it. But I also, if anybody has a good idea about how to store your round decks, if you're not storing them in a talk box, please do let me know. And like, how do you make a pouch? Because this is ridiculous and I hate it, but it's the cheapest option. Another one that I need to make a bag for is the Joie de Vivre, which is gonna be my storybook Christmas deck, I think, because I really want to use it more. But I figured it out last time when I talked about it, I think when I made the box video, is that what bothers me about this deck, why I'm not using it, is because of how it rattles in the box. So I need to get rid of the box in order to not be physically annoyed by the deck, because I really like the art style. I love her Paulina Cassidy or Faye. I never know. I think the Faye is the new one, Paula Faye. I think that's her new artist name. Her decks, her art style, I really like the small, tiny details, because you have a chance to notice something new every time you do a reading. But I really need, like a chance to actually work with the deck. And it kind of gives me that storybook feeling that I really like and associate with Christmas as well. Hello, Emperor. So I definitely want to make an effort of using this deck more, and I still don't like the bags, because why? So yeah, that's gonna be out and hopefully use more, because I definitely have more decks that I wanted to select for the season, but there are decks that I want to give a chance. So One of them is being the Dark Mansion, which I was really happy to get. Whoops. It's a beautiful deck. I really do love the art style, and why am I not using it? It's also a Christmas Carol deck, so you know it's Christmas in a deck. Even the tower. And I know people have problems with it. I have an opinion about it, and that's not the popular one or whatever, so I'm not sharing it. I understand people's feelings about the deck, but I also understand that it wasn't created like that, and whatever, like I said, I don't want to get in political about the deck, because I'm just wanted to say that I'm aware, but I don't think that it's there. But you could say that it's not my place to say that. Partly it is, but like I said, I'm not getting into details. I completely understand if someone doesn't want to use this deck. It's your choice. Mine is to use it. But I'm just, you know, I'm only saying this because I'm aware. I'm not ignorant about it. It's just I have a different opinion, which hopefully I'm still allowed, because these days, who knows. Another one is my winter deck, is the Heaven and Earth. It's an RWS, ooh, where's the light? Deck, but you know, it's reimagined, re-illustrated, but with the usual iconography, so it's very easy to use. I mean, I really like this foil. There's a lot of symbology in this deck, and I picked up the big one, the, oh my god, what is it? I don't know if there was a special name for it, but it's the bigger guidebook. It's not the tiny, like, boxed version. I don't have anything I can show that is similar to that. But the only thing that bothers me is something like this, like, where are the nipples? It's like, you know, censored, because we all can see that she's naked, but not having nipples, it's bothering me, because either put some clothes on her or don't, like you know, or don't, whatever. But yeah, it's a kind of, it's a bit weird. But it kind of feels wintry to me. I mean, look at that, all the grays. There are things that are still bothering me, like the Empress is so young compared to the Emperor, like, why? And I understand that, you know, that was the kind of the original one, but I don't think the original deck has that big of an age difference. Plus, it's still annoying, so stop doing that, please. So there are problems with this deck, obviously. Every deck has problems, I guess, but it's winter. So when the days are short, when they gloomy, I will have this deck out for sure. Another one is that stays for the opposite reason, is when when I want to kind of feel a little more optimistic, or, you know, I need some light. I decided to keep out the Hungarian edition of the Light Series, because A, it's new, it's Hungarian, so, you know, I can get away with it, because usually this is my summer deck. It's edged, look at that. And I haven't used the Hungarian one, so I will have this one out. And sometimes when I just need a little color, I need some warmth, I will use this deck. Plus, it's Hungarian, so I kind of wanted to have it out and use it more. And maybe do some specific readings. I don't know, I'm thinking about doing Hungarian readings as well. I'm just not sure if I don't think I have the time to start a new channel where I do that. Okay, and then something that I really need to start studying. I don't think I will have a lot of time to work with this deck, but I want to have the option out, so hopefully it's not just another failed attempt, because I really was happy to get this deck. I think this was the 5th edition. It's the last shiny one, which I don't mind, to be honest. I was like, oh, maybe I should have, you know, waited for a matte to become available, but I kind of like the shiny version from this deck. But I haven't really used it at all, because it has its own thing going on, and I want to give some chance to study it. So like I said, I think I'm just gonna if I have time, maybe I will do weekly readings for myself with it, and then, because then I can pull a few cards, check the meanings, and see where to start with a deck study next year. So it's pretty much just a introductory course with this deck for the season. We will see. Another one that I still need to figure out, and I know I have a lot of decks, so I obviously have a lot to decide on what I want to do with it, is the Steampunk Tarot. I was very happy and pleased with myself for getting it, and I think it's a good reader, but I only did a few readings and then I never really touched it again. I love the High Priestess. She's so wonderful. But I don't know if this is just if it was just fun to get, but I'm not gonna keep it. That's why I didn't trim the deck, because if I'm gonna keep it, I think I'm gonna remove the borders, because everything is pretty much self-explanatory, so I don't need to keep the titles even. Definitely not the borders, and I would edge it obviously, but I'm not sure if I want to keep it, so I didn't touch the deck, because obviously it's easier to sell it if I don't touch it. But I wanted to give some chance for this deck, and if I don't feel like pulling it out this season, then it's definitely going, because I don't want to keep decks around, that I don't use. I'd rather have it in someone else's possession who would actually use it and be happy and excited to use it. Something similar for the White Newman. I was very excited to get this, and I think I only know one person who said that they use this deck regularly and love the deck. I really want to love this deck. I really want to use it, but I'm kind of bothered by the lack of guidebook, as in explanation about the artwork. There's not enough for me, and I know someone said that I could research it and come up with meanings for myself, and yeah, I could do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I would love to hear what the artist thought about more in detail about the cards. Like, look at the Chariot. So yeah, I don't know if, plus it's kind of, I know that for a lot of people it's a positive thing, but I definitely feel like this is more of a feminine deck, and I don't need that, as in I don't think I need to work with my feminine side in a way that I need decks that are only features or heavily feature like women or women presenting people. Like, I need my men as well, and I love them having around, which is like, it's a wonderful thing. I'm not complaining about it, or I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just I kind of feel like this deck has a feminine energy, and I like working with a more balanced one, like 8 of Swords with a cock. Like, why? So yeah, I don't know. I love how it looks, but I'm not connecting to the messages. I don't think I ever got out of this deck a message that was really profound or like really meaningful. It's just a deck for me, and I want this to be more than a deck. And like I said, I think I only know about one person who said that they absolutely adore and use this deck, and they connected with the meanings. And I'm not saying that deck has anything wrong with it, it's just that I wish people would talk about it more, how they work with it, because it would be so useful. So if you have this deck and if you love it, please do tell me how you connected with it, if there was anything you did actually. Maybe it was just, like it was natural. Only a few decks left, 4, but 2 of them is the same. Where's the sun? Okay, quickly. The Shadowscapes is it's a winter one. I removed the titles because it was in Hungarian. Did I regret it? Obviously, because sometimes I have no idea what the cards are. I made some notes here finally, like it's the 7 of Wands, but I'm kind of bothered by how it looks, so I might remove it and try to figure out a different way of labeling the cards, because I wish I had some other colored marker, but I didn't. I only had this blue that actually stayed on the cards. I mean, this is a beautiful death card, and I know that this is a death card and it's beautiful, so I didn't even necessarily have to title it. But some, like this one, this is the Magician, and I never really got the Magician out of, no, it's the High Priestess. See, okay, see, I don't even know the High Priestess in this deck. This is the Empress, cheating all the way. This is, okay, this is the Magician. And you know, once I know, like, oh, this is obviously it's a Magician, because, you know, we have all the tools here. And it's a wonderful deck, but, and I love the purple or lilac color. I need to work with it more. I don't think I want to get rid of it in any way. I think I need to figure out a better way to title it. I don't know. If you have something like, I don't know, like what color do you think would it work well? Not necessarily purple. Maybe silver? Should I get a silver or a gold? Should I get a gold or a silver? Something like that? Silver kind of feels more fitting. Maybe I should get more, both, and you know, title it according to if it's a warm card or if it's a more cool toned. Do let me know, because I kind of want to use this more, but I wasn't able to learn the cards. Another one is a new one, which is a pip deck, so I don't really expect a lot of from it, and I absolutely hate the guidebooks setup, because who thought that this was a good idea? It looks like a, you know how it looks like? It looks like a map, like the old maps you had in your car when you know, like before Google and everything. Oh, the bags. I could have added this one to my beautiful bags video. I really like that. It's a simple one. I really love the wood carving feel of it. That was a lino cut, but it kind of feels like like wood carving, and old school, which really is type of printing which fits the deck so well. I'm kind of tempted to remove everything besides these borders, but I'm not sure if the size is exactly the same, and maybe it would, it wouldn't be uniform, and I would be bothered by it. But it kind of like the pips are really lazy. I'm not gonna lie, they are lazy, but they're not necessarily bad. So I wanna give it a chance to see if I see more in them than at first blink, because look at that. This is the Three of Cups, and it could talk about not just, three people working together, but that extra one who's holding the candle, on a date, or when you feel like you're not accepted by the others because they are together, like in Harry Potter. This is Harry, this is Ron, this is Hermione. So there is potential. I just want to play with it more and figure out if I can make it this one an actual reading deck, or if this is going to be just a novelty, because there is a different Lord of the Rings deck out there that I've seen people show, and I kind of know that at some point I will have to buy the bullet and get that one, because that looks like an actual usable, fully illustrated deck, which is sold on Etsy, I think. And the last two decks, because the light is going down, is the True Black, the original one, and the True Black, the holographic, which I recently got. I love this deck. I'm gonna only show you a few cards. Look at that star. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't feel like it's a cold deck, but because of the darkness of it, obviously, it feels more, or it feels suited for the season. And oh god, I love holographic. Look at that fire. The tower. It's one of my favorite towers. I just love that the person is falling apart because, you know, that's what we experience when the tower moment hits. We're the ones falling apart. So yeah, I'm gonna keep both of them out because I like both of them actually. And I don't think they are repetitive energy, which is quite interesting. I love them both. Yeah, I know it's tactile paradise. So yeah, I think I've shown you all the decks that I plan on using for the next, I think I'm gonna keep them for 1st of February, around that time. I think, you know, or you know what, I'm not even gonna put a date on how long these decks are gonna stay on my table, because you know what, I'm gonna go with nature. I'm gonna change up the decks once the weather actually starts getting better, when light is more frequent than darkness and gloominess. And I don't know, it might happen in March. I don't know. We will see how I feel about this decision later. But yeah, I hope this was interesting. Do let me know what are your picks for the next season, if you even change your decks this time around, or do you keep the ones that you had? Which one is your dedicated top picks, if you have one? Like which deck is the one that represents the winter, the darkest season for you, if you know, have any? I'm always interested in those because ideas and window shopping is fun. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Hope this was fun. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, do those all, you know, YouTube things, because those help and I love hearing from you guys. And see you in the next one. Bye.